Hi students, welcome to the overview video for our week 3 folder where we are continuing to kind of build our critical thinking toolkit, and we are wrapping up the week 2 where we're kind of introducing you to this concept of rhetorical thinking, and then we're going to continue on with practicing a little more application of what you've learned in this next week. So let's kind of go over and show you guys what we have. Okay, I'm in my instructor view, so if it looks a little different, that's why. Pretty similar, but okay. So the first thing, of course, is the unit overview. This is always going to give you, remember, the need to know info of what you're doing, just kind of everything in a list, a nice kind of view of what you have to do, the learning objectives, and all of those things. It just kind of is a good place to get oriented. And of course, this is where I post these videos that you're watching, the overview videos. So this week I have a couple videos for you guys to watch on the rhetorical situation. I really like the videos from, and trust the places that I am linking to these videos. So make sure that you do, they're well produced and they're pretty good videos. So you have 2 of these to read on purpose audience, or excuse me, watch on purpose audience, rhetorical situation, and those concepts. And the reason I want you to do this first is because it gives you a little more context and knowledge going into the chapter 3 reading. So in chapters 1 and chapters 2, you've been introduced to critical thinking in different contexts, and the one this week is going to focus on writing, and then we're going to kind of apply all that we've learned to some practice writing. Okay, so that's what we're doing. So you have these videos. The only release condition here for the Smart Book, I think this is the only release condition in the unit, is to make sure you watch those videos first. Then you can work on the Smart Book assignment. I also am giving you guys this little kind of review presentation. It's just a real short kind of walk through PowerPoint to kind of tie all of these chapters together. And I put this before the quiz because I thought it just might help you a little bit before you take the quiz. But the quiz is focused on chapter 3. Okay, so you do have that quiz there. And then you have a discussion assignment this week. So we haven't done a discussion assignment since our Introduce Yourself discussion. So this one's going to be a little more focused on kind of reading and sharing. So make sure you look at this. I have linked to the readings in the actual assignment. So to do this assignment, you will have a couple of things that you have to review there. The links on how to get to those assignments. So basically 2 essays that you're going to read that are related to one another, and you're going to respond to the guiding questions that I have for you in that. Okay? And I think you'll like those readings because they kind of have interesting tones and kind of give you different perspectives on, what it means to write. I think you'll be able to relate to one or the other or even both perspectives. And then once you have completed that, we're going to go to the next journal assignment, where this week what you're doing in the journal, this will be a slightly longer one with different parts to it. So it's just kind of broken down. I have instructions, so you know exactly what you need to do. Just take it one part at a time. One step at a time. That's my best advice for that. And so you're going to be basically responding to a practice writing prompt. So we're not, this isn't an official essay assignment or anything. This is a practice writing prompt that I've given you because we're practicing, we're applying the concepts from the chapters as critical thinkers who ask critical thinking questions, or engaging questions, as the term your book uses. So the first part is to read the prompt, right? And I have the prompt here. Then you're going to create and answer critical thinking questions, 5 of them. I've given you 3. If you aren't sure, you can use those. Just make sure you create at least 2 of your own. And then you're going to answer those questions, okay? So the purpose of that is to kind of get you to think a little more intentionally about what you're going to be doing as a writer when you respond to the practice prompt. So I reposted the practice prompt here, and now you're actually going to write a paragraph on that prompt. And then the last step will be to kind of reflect on that activity, that writing activity, and just make sure that you complete all parts and meet whatever word count I have kind of assigned to you. Okay, so that word count is specifically for the practice writing paragraph. Okay, I kind of kept the word count. You'll probably have more words from the other parts of the assignment, but that is for the specific paragraph you're practicing with. Okay. Okay. And I have a couple tips on there too. So that is what you'll be doing this week. We're still laying down that foundation. And then once we wrap up this module, we'll be moving on into our next module, which will focus on our first writing project. Okay, so hey everyone, thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great week.